just going to show you around some of the key design features of the Kelvin Hall now that it's complete. Starting here with the main entrance. Inside the main entrance, you can see here the existing facade with a large steel structure socketed in. There's very little in the way of visible connections, so it makes the whole sort of connection quite clean between the old and the new. You can also see when you look through the roof lights above, you can see the whole of the existing elevation through there, and it helps to separate the old structure from the new. So it's quite clear what's existing and what's new.
It is unique, but in a way it's odd that it is. Why would we put sport and physical activity in a different place to culture and heritage and history? People are interested in all these things at one time, so we're focusing on an audience of people here as opposed to thinking corporately or what boxes we want to organise things.
It's massively important that we're involved in a legacy, a chapter in an iconic building that everyone's got so much fond memories of. So to be part of that and to hand that to future generations, and for McLaughlin Harvey's name to be associated with that is massive.
The conditions of various sections of the building were quite demanding. You know, there were environmental controls on the likes of the museum stores, on the Hunterian store, and then against that there were different requirements for the gym. You know, some areas had to be kept hot, some areas had to be kept cold. So getting the mechanical and electrical balance was a challenge. Getting all the commissioning pulled together was quite a task.
When we first started the project, this was the main entrance into the Kelvin Hall, so there was a large concrete staircase that we had to remove. You can see the cladding on the outside, which is Rimex stainless steel, coloured a sort of orangey red. We've also got frameless glazing, so it gives you clear views in and out. The larger section here is the main entrance foyer cafe area, and the last sort of quarter on the end there, that's actually part of the main gym.
I think that's probably one of the most satisfying things about the construction, the fact that we've managed to integrate the old with the new. We've added on the likes of the new entrance, the gym infill, but we've managed to retain the original structure and make a feature of these areas, and we've had a lot of positive comments from the public regarding that.
So now you come in the same door. You don't have to go around the side for the museum and in the front for the sports centre. It's one place, and it just makes the whole thing more efficient and more interesting. And hopefully we share audiences and people get involved in things they might not have done if we didn't have this mix of uses and offers.
It's the 8-court sports hall, and you've got the existing structure with the replacement roof lights, exactly the same as the old ones, but obviously with the new glass it lets in a lot more light into the space. We'd also left all the existing structure exposed, and it was basically just simply given a new coat of paint. There's no large columns within the space either, so it's a very large open space. It lends itself very well to a large sports hall.
It raises the brand of McLaughlin and Harvey, certainly within the city, and not only within the city but throughout Scotland and throughout the UK. So the use of social media now has elevated and advertised the company into a company that's capable of doing larger refurbishment leisure projects like this.
This was the 4-court sports hall, but is now the gymnastics area. You can see all the main bits of gymnastic equipment, which are all anchored through the suspended timber floor into the concrete below. The large roof light again, as you had in the 8-court sports hall, fully refurbished with the new glazing, with the existing structure again basically just painted, just left as it is. The only other addition that we'd done to the main vault was to put on a sound absorbing spray called Sonus Spray, which is basically a recycled paper, but it helps to absorb a lot of the noises that you get, so you don't get this reverberation. You can also see at the end there the Kelvin Hall sign, which is a relic from the 80s, which we had refurbished. We can also see we've also kept the the original sort of small stained glass windows, albeit they've got some timber screening in behind them. But yeah, other than that, the space just lends itself very well to sports, just being a big open space with the changing areas sort of plugged in on the left here and the future spa area up on first floor. But that's just been left as a shell at the moment.
To retain the structure involved quite a lot of serious temporary works during the construction, using a lot of steel members to support the brickwork above the existing structure until we could put new foundations in. So that was quite a difficult aspect of the job, but it's all proved worthwhile at the end of the day.
This is us inside the main gym. You can see we're actually stood where the old steps were, and this was the entrance to the old transport museum. You can see the old facades being retained, and again the steel structure socketed in, so the minimum of connections. At the ends, these were the existing gables of the existing buildings, which were broken through into, both to the right here and to the left, to make this one really big gym. If we turn round, you can see the really nice views you get over the west end of Glasgow.
I think it is vitally important. We're not blessed with an abundance of land and finances throughout the construction industry to create new facilities, but the building's so important to the community, to Scotland, that it's right that there is an investment in restoring it. And I think the architect and key stakeholders have to take a huge amount of credit in terms of the vision, and then from ourselves delivering on that vision.
This is us in one of the main stair cores just adjacent to the gym. You can see at high level the smaller of the two roof lights, which runs the length of the building. The stair core and lift were centred on the roof lights, so that it allows the maximum amount of light down into the middle of the building, through first floor down onto ground floor. The roof light also helps to orientate you in the building, because it runs the full length. It runs from here through onto the dance studios at first floor, and then again as you go further down the avenue, you see the roof light again above the orientation space. The Hunterian office is really a bit of a jewel in the crown, albeit that you can't really see it too clearly from below. Previously this was a flat roof area, not utilised for anything. But what we've done is this is where we've situated the Hunterian office. As you can see, it's a very modern design. This was, I say simply, placed on top. We actually had to bring the structure from below. We had to bring the columns up, extend the columns through the roof, so it's not actually sitting on the roof as such, it's sitting on the columns below. We also had to cut through into the sort of main arch of the building. We had to cut through one of the main trusses, so that was a bit of an engineering challenge, but we got there and managed to get through. But I think it's a very successful pavilion up here on the roof. You wouldn't actually know it was here really unless you're up here or you're in one of the higher buildings around, but I think it sits very elegantly here on the roof and gives you really nice views of the west end of Glasgow.
Very proud. I think we had a great team working on the project. Everybody had their own special roles, but the whole team gelled well. All the subcontractors performed well throughout the project as well. All met the challenges that were thrown at them. It makes me feel proud to see the reaction that we're getting from the public, that they're all quite enthusiastic about the building, and just to see the Kelvin Hall, which I think is got a place in the hearts of most Glasgow folk, the experiences they've had over the years. To see it transformed now is quite satisfying.
Very inspiring and iconic, and for me brings a huge amount of satisfaction to the people of Glasgow, and the whole facility has just been reinvented again. It's now a fantastic facility for for the people of Glasgow and others to use.